I have no idea if this microphone's working, but let's hope it is. What do most people misunderstand about you? I feel like I'm very misunderstood. Not in like a annoying pick-me way, but I think people don't realize how sensitive I am. And also how sincere I can be. I think people assume that I like to just joke around or feel things only on a surface level, but that's not true. I sometimes wish I could change how sensitive I am, just with being open about mental illness. I think people assume and misunderstand the fact that it's a lot worse living with it than it may seem on the outside. You know, it can be like daily anguish and agony sometimes, even though it may not seem like it. Who are your 3 biggest mentors, and what have you learned / are learning from each one? I think creatively, Rick Rubin. I'm learning how to just be a vessel for the universe and for art, and to just not worry about response or how my art is interpreted, and how to not make things for an audience, just make things for my own fulfillment, which is why I'm doing this. He says to create art and just put things out as your own personal diary, which I've always wanted to, but I've been afraid because I put the audience first. And I love that he always talks about how that's not at all important and you shouldn't do that. So I think Van Gogh, I relate to being deeply sad in a very profound way, and how that sometimes lends itself to really great art. And as painful as life can be, it can create really beautiful things, and someone in deep pain can create really beautiful things. I also relate to him doing very weird and non-traditional things to be happy, even just momentarily. And honestly, my dad, I feel like he's literally everyone's mentor. Just having someone who understands how I feel emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and at a larger scale, just about life and the universe, is very comforting to me. And I feel like I learn something new from him every time I talk to him, but he has made me unafraid of taking extremely large risks, especially like on a life scale, not just day-to-day things. Yeah, just knowing that life is a game, and one, you don't have to play and you can make it whatever you want. There's just endless abundance for me, and it's there for the taking. What's a value you live by that you think also inhibits your success in the world, and why? Well, a value that I live by is that no matter where you are in life or who you are, you deserve unconditional love, and that you are perfect the way you are, and you're perfect where you are. Of course, that's excluding like deeply, deeply evil people. But I think that also inhibits my success, because I learned that by having unconditional love and very supportive parents, which I would not change for the world, but I know that I am perfect and capable and loved at any stage of life, and at any point in any process that I partake in. So it can create a lack of motivation because I'm not striving to receive love or validation from certain things, because I've been getting love and validation the whole time along the way. I couldn't imagine not having that. Yeah, I think that's like the greatest gift of my life. What do you think is your gift to others, and where did you get it from? I think my greatest gift to others is the ability to make people feel seen and heard and loved, regardless of how long I've known them or how different our life experiences are, or where they are in life, where I am in life. And I think I got that from both of my parents. They're both incredibly empathetic and intuitive, and non-judgmental. I think that's the key part of being able to make someone feel loved and seen and heard, is to only approach them with love and not judgment. I believe love and judgment cannot exist at the same time. So in any moment where you are judging someone, you are completely killing the ability for love to exist in that moment, for them and for you, and for a connection to form that is based off of love. And so I think if you just approach every situation with love and empathy first, then that's where so many beautiful things can grow. But as soon as you judge and are closed-minded, that's when love ceases to exist. What does it feel like to be you? I don't even know most of the time. I think family-wise, I'm incredibly lucky and happy. Same goes with friends. I'm incredibly lucky and grateful to have the few close friends that I do have. I think on an emotional level, it is bittersweet being extremely sensitive and also perceptive, and that's just from childhood trauma and whatnot, but being extremely observational and intuitive and sensitive and, all those things. That is a double-edged sword, because I love feeling things deeply. I feel like I'm able to appreciate things and create things at a level that, what the fuck am I trying to say? I don't even know. My soul feels fulfilled creating and admiring things at such a deep level. That is where I feel comfortable. So I wouldn't change it, but it does create moments of deep agony and anguish, which I don't think a lot of people understand unless you are an extremely highly sensitive person. So what does it feel like to be me? I mean, I'm very happy, but I'm also very, I get swayed. My emotions get swayed, because I feel like my soul is an open wound. Can feel whatever's around it, like my nerve endings are just raw and open at all times, but I wouldn't change it. Describe a turning point in your life. I think dropping out of high school in like the middle of freshman year was like the biggest turning point. It was either that or like, kill myself probably, or just, I don't know, be extremely miserable, probably like cope with substances or something, because it was like on a deep soul level I was so in pain. But it was the best decision I ever made, and it's led to so much happiness and joy and connection and just feeling more present in life and like I'm actually making decisions based off of what I want and need and what I feel my purpose is at any given point, instead of what is expected of me. At what point do you cross the line where others would probably stop? If you've never interacted with me in person and you've never heard me joke around, you would not be able to tell from this video, but I definitely cross the line. And I'm not saying it's right. I cross the line with like joking. Being able to sense that I'm getting close to the line and still choosing to cross over it when maybe I shouldn't. But I don't know, it goes well 9.5 times out of 10 for me to stop. And I don't mean that in like a white man edgy joking way, like I'm not saying anything that I wouldn't say on a public platform. Like, you know, I'm not being ignorant. I just mean like I like to push it a little bit. But on the flip side, I do think it's good to cross the line in many parts of life. I feel like that helps my ability to make other people feel seen and heard, because I'm able to cross the line from acquaintance to someone that is seeing you deeply, and that transition happens in seconds when you're willing to cross the line to be vulnerable yourself, to make someone else feel safe to be vulnerable. I think that's the same with joking and comedy, is like when you're able to show that you're open, then other people are willing, I don't know, whatever. What's been your biggest challenge and how did you overcome it? My biggest challenge is probably how I'm perfectly split in half, and one half of me wants to be so connected to everyone on a global level and just constantly be on and open and connect at a soul level and just let the wind take me wherever it wants to. But the other half of me, which is equally as strong, wants to isolate and be alone and escape to nature and not connect at all. But I have to fight that urge because I feel like that side of me has been winning for a lot of my, young adult life. So I want to get back into finding the balance between the two, and connecting, but not to the point where it's depleting me. What's one thing you think people should know about you if they are to truly understand you? That I am merely a reflection of you. I am just a mirror. I weirdly get more support and love and understanding from actual strangers than I do people that have either talked to me a lot online or in person. And I think that it's important to remember that the things you dislike about me are things that you just dislike about yourself. Things that you can't accept in me are things that you cannot accept in yourself. And when you have no room to fully incorporate every part of yourself, you have no room to accept me or others. And I have empathy for that. Everyone struggles with that in some form. I think one of my favorite qualities in someone is being fully open-minded and accepting. And I totally understand if someone can't be because they don't have the space to see themselves fully. And I think strangers are able to accept me because they have no preconceived notions about me, and they are not comparing me to themselves. They're not making any judgments about me on a deeper level. I feel like people that know me weirdly are like not as accepting. I've dealt with that since I was little. I mean, I'm used to it. I don't know, I think I just reflect people's insides, and if you're not ready to see yourself that way, I think you're gonna dislike me, and that's okay. And yeah, I mean, I'm used to it, and I like interacting with people that are able to really look at themselves anyways, so